a recurring theme in our conversation. We're back in the world of religion and faith again, Kevin.
My favourite subject.
Your favourite subject. You put down the light of the world. Now, you and I have had a conversation about this, so I think I've got a handle on it. But for those people who don't, tell us a bit more about the light of the world.
Well, I will keep it simple, and there's probably a lot more pointers to it. But the beauty of it is that God, if you believe him, or you try and believe him, or if you want to believe him, because some people are against God, not because they hate him, not because they're against him, not because he's bad. It's just they can't quite get it. And I feel for them people, and I pray for them people, and I love them people that can't believe in God, but are still okay type people. I think I've done a lot for God over the years, but I get it that there's a payoff, and I get it that he can do a lot for you. So I get all that. So 1 minute I think I've done well because I've done a lot of godly things, but I know that I've done a lot of it as well because I know there'll be some sort of payoff at some point. Now the light of the world, there's a door there, and God, Jesus, is all set up with his lantern and his big coat on, and he's out late at night by the looks of it with the lantern, and he's trying to knock on the door because there's no handle on the door outside. He can't come in. He's got all this power and all these situations he can control if need be, but he wants you to invite him in, because that's the best way his power works. He's not going to abandon you if you don't open the door. He's not going to leave you and forget you. But if you want his true power, you want the full weight of his power, open the door, invite him in. Don't be too much of a cynic. I've met a lot of cynics in my life, and the ones that shout the loudest are the ones that really would like to believe in him and his powers. And then there's some people, some cynics, that would like to believe in his powers but don't want the rest of the deal, where you've got to have a conscience. You can't stab people in the back. You can't get one over on somebody. You can't just do what you want to do most of the time. That's not part of God's deal. God's deal is if you play your cards right, then there's a lot of good things coming from you. And it might look that good at first, and you might have to go through some terrible things in his name, and you'll be picked up. You'll be picked on because of his name. But that's part of the deal. But the deal, generally speaking, is you'll get his power, and it'll work for you, and it'll give you confidence that if you're not going to be completely happy in this world, you will in the next. You've got all these bonuses and promises. And my father used to laugh, and he used to talk it over with his friends, saying, no, big problem with the church and God. It's all promised for afterwards. You don't forget, that's part of the deal. But I think if you can focus on the fact that if you're not going to get it right in this life, but you'll be paid in the next life, that's not a bad deal either, because it's about confidence. And if you're confident that you're going to be okay in this life, or at least the next one, then your confidence inspires people around you. It makes you 10 times better than everything that you're good at, that you would be normally. And the light of the world is there for you to open the door and let them in and invite them in. If you don't know much about them and you're not from them stables, then maybe move a bit towards them. Maybe search them. I know people that are from a different faith and then suddenly become Catholics. I know some people who are Catholics that become Church of England and vice versa. I know some people that don't believe in God at all, but they're good to animals. So you don't have to be anything as such, but the light of the world is God with all his power is standing outside your door now. And your door might be your bedroom, it could be the bathroom, it could be the kitchen, it could be your living room, but he's there waiting to be invited in. And once you let him in, there's a great song by Charlie Lansbury called My Forever Friend, and he mentions in the song that no one could make it alone, we need a higher power. And also he's my forever friend. My halo doesn't always shine, sometimes I forget him, but he never forgets me, my forever friend. And if you want to know who my friend is and you don't know him, then I think it's time you knew that long ago and far away, upon a hill, my friend died on a cross for you. So he's waiting with all that. We don't want it, you don't want it. But it's there, there's a power. And I found it was a power. I found that when I watered it down, then a lot of my problems were thicker and stronger, and depression tried to fight against me hope. But I think if you can dig your heels in and say there is a God, there is a higher power, and this feeling's going to pass. George Harrison, one of the Beatles, was the first one with the number one, My Sweet Lord. But the record that struck me between the eyes was one called All Things Must Pass. And obviously he got that from the Bible, because Jesus says, this too will pass. Whatever situation you're going through, whatever's going on with the government, the virus, the war, Second World War, this too shall pass. And it will. And your depression shall pass. So hang on a little bit, hold on, and don't give up hope, and do your best to come out of it, and the light of the world is there. There'll be many more situations besides that to the picture. I remember having the picture, and I might be putting it on the front of the book here, I'm not sure, but I remember looking at the other side of the card, and there's lots of little stories about the picture and the glory of it and the gift of it. But the main theme, I would say, for depression, and anybody who's into God or not into God, for want of a better phrase, then it's there for the taking, and it's all free, and he's waiting. And would it be a shame if you got it wrong? And it wasn't. There is such a saying, it's too good to be true. It's too good to be true, with all the sales technique, too good to be true. Well, imagine if it was true, and we never tapped into it. And especially if we got depressed, or we allowed ourselves to be depressed from time to time, and all this time this power's waiting there to help us. And there is a famous hymn or a song, What a Friend I Have in Jesus, and it explains it all there, even more, dare I say, than Charlie Lansbury's song, My Forever Friend. What a friend we have in Jesus. You know, what a shame that we don't go to him in prayer and ask him for help. It's all in that song there, so I've looked that one up. And if it's all right with you, Damian, you can remind me, be nice to print them words in the book.